lesson, we're going to be using the percent proportion. In a percent proportion, one of the numbers, called the part, is being compared to the whole quantity, called the base. The other ratio is the percent, written as a fraction, whose base is 100. So the key concept in words, you've got part over base is equal to a percent over 100. So in the symbols, you can use A over B is equal to P over 100, where A is the part, B is the base, and P is the percent. Now, when you will be seeing some examples or questions, one way that you can remember where to place each of the numbers, P over B. If the number is near the word is, that is normally going to be the part. If you see the word of, that is going to be the whole part of it, the whole of it. R will be considered the percentage, it's the rate, and 100 is the 100% of it. So percentage, which is part, will be over the base, which is the total amount, and that's equal to the rate, which is the percent over 100. So we're going to do some examples using this formula. So as we said earlier, we have A over B, and that's going to be equal to the rate or percentage over 100. So we're asked to find the percent or the rate. 18 is what percent of 26? A way that you can solve this is you can simplify 18 over 26 to 9 over 13 to have a more friendlier fraction. Now, you're not going to be able to use equivalent ratios for this, so you can use cross products. So you'll have 900 is equal to 13R. Divide each side by 13. Okay, so notice when we divided 900 divided by 13, we get 69, remainder of 3. So we're just going to put it as a mixed number, 69 and 3/13%. You need to go back and check to see if your answer makes sense. If you got 18 out of the 26 answers correct on a test, you would make it 69%. So go back and make sure that your answer is reasonable. So let's set up B. 20 is what percent of 25? Okay, notice we set up 20 over 25 because 20 is what percent of 25? R over 100. There are two ways you could do this. You could either just look at it mentally and know that 25 times 4 is 100. So 20 times 4 would be 80%. Or you can simplify and also do the same way, and you can do it with equivalent fractions. All right, we have two more. I'm going to pause the video, set each of these up, and then let you come back and check your work. In 2A, we had what number is 60% of 92? And in setting up the proportions, 60% will go over the 100 of the 100%. You're trying to determine what is 60% of 92. So 92 would be your base. It would be the whole amount. So since we cannot solve it by using mental math, we're first going to see if we can reduce it, and we did. 60 over 100 reduces to 3 over 5. Then we did the cross products, and our final answer would be 55 and 1/5. So in B, we have what number is 150% of 8. So we have 150 goes over your 100 for percent. We're trying to find out what is 150% of 8. So that would be our A. So we're going to simplify before we multiply. So we reduced 150 over 100 So notice that we simplified the 150 over 100 to 3 over 2. Then we cross product. 8 times 2 is 2a. 8 times 3 is 24. So we have 2a is equal to 24 divided each side by 2, and our final answer is 12. So 12 over 8 is 150%. Okay, I'm going to pause this. We'll come back and check our answer. In 3a, 6 is 24% of what number? I can look at this and do this mentally. I can look at 24 and divide it by 4 to get 6. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. So, well, not 25%, just 25. Because the base, 6 out of 25 would equal 24%. In B, what number is 8 8/10% of 20? What number is 8.8% of 20? You can simplify this to 2 2/10 over 25. Now, you can cross product. 25a is equal to 20 times 2 2/10. 25a is going to be equal to 44. Divide each side by 25. A will equal 1 76/100. I'm going to make sure that that makes sense. 1 76/100 out of 20 would be 8.8%. All right, we're going to have some mixed examples. I'll pause and write all of these down and come back and check them. Okay, in our next example, what number is 5.5% of 650? I'm trying to figure out what number. So I have A over 650 is equal to 5.5 over 100%. I simplified 5.5 over 100 to 1.1 over 20. I used cross products, so that should be 20A, is equal to 1.1 times 650. Then I simplified 1 1/10 times 650 and got 750. Divided each side by 20. My final answer for number 1 is A, again, is equal to 35 75/100. And number 2, 16 is what percent of 40? 16 over 40 is equal to R over 100. I simplified 16 over 40 to 2/5. Mentally, I knew that 5 times 20 was 100, so 20 times 2 is 40. Let's read these, and I'll work them out and pause the video. You can come back and check your answer. What percent of 5 is 14? And our final one, 54 of the 90 books on a shelf are history books. What percent of the books are history books? So again, let me pause it. I'll set it up, and you can come back and check your answer. So on number 3, what percent of 5 is 14? So I have 14 over 5 is equal to what percent over 100? I can do this mental math by looking. I know that 5 times 20 is 100. So 14 times 20 is 280. So 14 out of 5 is 280%. On the last one, 45 of the 90 books on the shelf are history books. What percent of the books are history books? So you can look at this without even doing any cross products to say, after you reduce it, 9. I'm sorry, I went back and corrected it. I had my numbers mixed up. So 54 of the 90 books on a shelf are history books. 54 out of 90. So I can reduce 54 and 90 have a common factor of 9, so I reduce that to 6 over 10. I know that 10 times 10 is 100, so 10 times 6 would be 60. So 60% of the books are going to be history books.